what I thought we'd do, just first off, is looking at the first shot of the film, and then going into like how we crafted the look and feel of it. And I've got the treatment up and a bunch of messages that I sent you and that you sent me. Because I was sending you barrages of images for months.
Yeah, making sure that I
Fun
actually
times for you, right?
understood what you were trying to do.
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's just play that intro shot because I think it gives the people a good vibe, good idea of the vibe.
British dystopian romance short. Nice.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Get those YouTube algorithms going. Right, anyway.
Come on.
You're right. Look like you're struggling.
Do I amuse you?
Hey, what can I say? Look, you're a funny guy.
Yeah, funny guy making you laugh.
Well, sometimes, you know.
You wanna go laugh?
All right, real cute, that honey.
That didn't make
Right.
you laugh, did it?
No. And it wasn't even that. I wasn't laughing with you. I was laughing at you. You know, it was a difference.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right in there.
Right in my ticker, huh? Thanks.
Right.
Nice.
Lovely. Oh, does that stop sharing? Yeah. So I thought I would just give a good vibe of the look and feel that we ended up with. And I just want to go into like how did we craft that, or I suppose like go into the lookbook that I sent through to you and some of the messages, and we can go through that and then like the process that we went through.
Well, it's
trying to
funny
get that
seeing the shade creams right before this, because there are some nods between the two.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Maybe in terms of the lighting.
Well, yes, and like little production design bits and like overall sort of feel, I guess.
Yeah.
That like the practicals and some bits. So it's funny because I don't think we used it as sort of a springboard or whatever. It was like definitely different inspirations and references, but yeah, it's just interesting to see.
Well, it's same team, isn't it? You, me, and Cookie.
Yeah, definitely. And also like, you have a sensibility, I have a sensibility, bring that together, then apparently we like practicals that has color in the background. Yeah.
Right. I want to show that I'm just going to share with you the treatment, but specifically the look pages. And then we can kind of just go through like how it went from those images that I sent through to you on the page and a few of the texts and WhatsApps that I sent you to then like making that happen. Like what did you have to do and like how did we work together to make that happen? Because I think it's quite an interesting thing hopefully interesting thing for people to look at. Okay, so this is the kind of thing I sent you. So this is part of a wider treatment with like all of this stuff on there. But specifically this look page, I send you all of these kinds of images. With a long spiel about what I liked, what I liked about them. And this is the kind of thing I do most of the time with a lot of DPs. I suppose there's a little bit of like these greens and all of this kind of like dusk and night setting that we were obsessing over for a bit.
Yeah, and like full on American Diner inspiration.
Obsessed with American Diners. I still am.
Yeah.
And then some paintings. I forgot I sent those.
Yeah, forgot about those. Never looked at them.
Fuck's sake. And then I've done this as well.
This one's a good one actually, because I think this one was sort of a main. I think the big question is always like, because you get it, this is like a great starting point for a conversation, right? Of right. You obviously have an idea and you're like, oh, this is what I wanted to look like, but an image, how one interprets an image is different for everyone, right? So the text is really helpful because it says I like this warm bit and I like the fluorescence and la. But then also there's like, then the next stage would be to also, for me, to send images that I think complement that and see how you respond to those, because that also oftentimes sparks a conversation that then better informs whatever has you have sent before, and that then whittles is being, you can sort of bring down to sort of one or two hero images that are like this sort of encompasses most of the film for me, because that's really helpful for a DP to be like, oh, actually, you know, these elements are the most important thing for them.
Yeah. So like this text at the bottom there, like greenier, grittier feel. Then you got like, again, there's greens. And you know what though? I think I found some of these after chatting with you and after having, you know, there's some framing examples there as well.
Right. And then
you know, so I think it was kind of like this dual, like it was happening all at the same time of you sending, like you say, you've seen these images, seen my text, sent me some images, and then we got, I suppose, just deeper and deeper into, you know, what it was gonna.
Yeah, I think I was watching Euphoria.
And you said, yes, you sent me the Euphoria stuff.
Yeah, season 2, and that had a big diner scene. One episode plays completely in a diner, and it has all the fluorescent, it has the practicals, it has the warmer key light, it has the blues and the fluorescence outside, you know. And I think that just sort of then from there on out, the conversation just got more specific and more specific.
Sure.
See, then the final look that we ended up shooting.
Was there then, like, you know, in all of these images, I'm just noticing now, there's like quite a lot of these like lamps and the practicals and things like that, which we ended up using.
Yeah, I think there was also a budgetary and a practical reason for the lamps, because lighting a whole place, and also we had to de-rig everything in between the two nights, because he had to be open the next day as well.
A cafe owner,
yeah. So I think I was the quickest way to light a space without having to actually put up lights is to put in practicals that light the space around it. So we found these. We ended up, or Cookie ended up showing us these, or I don't know how it came to be. Maybe I was in a restaurant or something, and I found these like battery powered practicals that you can buy off Amazon, and they're dimmable as well, which is nice. So you can change the color temperature and you can dim them, but and they're battery powered. They don't need the cables. You whack them in the set, and that not only gives us the right look, but it's like, for time purposes, it really helps you out. Because like all the tables in the background are just lit. Bomb.
Yeah, because so we'd worked out. Yeah, we obviously gone on the recce, and then we worked out from there. Like, okay, well, this is the amount of tables we need for it to look kind of full, but not to fill us up, because we need all this space for the camera and the dolly and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't have enough time, and it's a small space anyway. Let's just whack these the lamps on. I've just got this funny. I think it's quite funny. It's a text that I think I said, because you'd ordered the lamps, I think, and then you'd come to my house potentially, but you'd ordered 3 different kinds of lamps.
Yeah. So we could like see which one works.
Yeah, I think this gives an idea of our kind of working relationship. If I can find it, I had it up just now. Which is just a shot of 3 lamps, 3 lamps on my bed. Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, 2 seconds. Yeah, because I think a lot of this, you know, we've got, you know, the treatments being set forward and things like that, but then, you know, a lot of this is like you and me WhatsApping like so much stuff to each other. Okay, all this, I like this. Yeah, just this shot. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Because they all do something. Because like I think also Cookie was looking into like which one worked best for her, but obviously because it's a conversation between lighting and production design at that same time. Like,
sure,
I think like I opted for the bottom one because it only projects light down and not up, whereas the other 2 looked better in frame, but they project light up, so you'd have to like you'd have to do something to them. I don't know which one we ended up
So-
using in the end.
We used this one. We used this one.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah. So
No, I
like you say,
watched
it went down. Yeah. It two on the left feel too big as well. But from what I remember, you came around my house. We turned out all the lights in my kitchen, and we tried all 3 lamps, like next to my face and things like that. And then I think it was a practical consideration of like, we've got 2 people sat across the table from each other, and these were a lot bigger as well.
Yeah.
It's like-
They would take up so much space in the frame.
Yeah. I think that's so I suppose what you're saying there really is like, okay, so you've got the practical considerations of limited budget again, but then all of those references, and then again, so I keep doing the sharing the screen thing. I just think these are quite interesting. Like, it's a lot of all of these references are from like pretty high budget films where you've got all of this like Blues Brothers, and we've got like I suppose that's more of a lens
Framing,
framing stuff. But these are all like kind of higher budget films like Blues Brothers. There, you've got all of the neons, and then all of that.
I think it's
these
funny, just on a side note, that looking at these 2 frames, one is an old film from the fucking 80s, and then the other one is a modern digital film. And you see how dark stuff has become. Like back in the day, shit was so bright. And like, well, there's a face, we gotta light it, and we're and like nowadays, just sending a photo. Were we sending photos off a screen to each other? Like,
I just watched this, I just saw this, and then like and then I literally, it was over I don't know, I'd been watching Blues Brothers with my mate, and this is where these 2 Blues Brothers shots came in. And I sent you this as well, and then I think you were sending me back other shots of like, we're obsessed with the neons, like you can see from the
and those
from the lookbook.
All those
like
green pops were great. But what I did like was if everything was just green.
Sure.
So I was just thinking, like, because in every reference there's like, oh, there's loads of green here, or there's loads of warm, and I was mainly looking for a reference that combined the 2 of them, and we're like, okay, if you send me this and this, my interpretation of that is this. Do you agree?
Got you.
And I think that image on the right, I don't know who sent it to who, but that sort of encapsulates what I then was after, right? It says in the text of like, I need the green pulse, but I don't want the face to be completely
This
green.
is definitely me sending it to you, so moody. But maybe it was you, I don't know. Yeah. But this actually is very close, isn't it, to how it ends up?
Well, it sounds like that this is not a Dutch person typing. This is very no, but I mean, I think like in general, like these images they're all so important to sort of get a common ground that that your interpretation of said image is the same.
Yes.
I think that's the most important part. So you don't end up on set and being like, hey, I've let you scene, and then you go, that's not what I'm after, but there's no time to change it, right? And also, it just feels way nicer if I light something and I turn the camera on and you're like, hey, that's exactly how I want it to look.
100%.
That's what I'm after in a kind of like.
Well, I think it's like you were saying is this trust, right? It's like, well, I know that you know exactly what I'm looking for because we have sent countless WhatsApps to each other with images of like, oh, I just saw this. Oh, I just saw this. I just saw this framing thing. What if we use these longer lenses at this point? Oh, I love the greens here. It pops there. I like the neons here. And, it's back and forth.
I think in the final film, though, the greens only really played in the background. They never lit people. The people was just lit by like a more neutral.
But I love that because there's the if I go back to
apart from the bathroom scenes, like those were like messy as hell. But that was supposed to be messy.
It was meant to be messy, but like if I look, if we share this bit, it is that's the greens, isn't it? There, on Chelsea's, like they're kind of like behind there, and they give. I think it gives it.
You went for the round ones in the end.
Oh, we did go the round one. I was wrong.
Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah. So I lost. I lost the challenge with cooking. She,
yes.
yeah, she just said, "Fuck you. I'm gonna take these ones."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
But
funny.
actually, they're not that big in the frame in the end.
No, they're not actually. I think that's so interesting. That's like just I mean, just watch that. But it's interesting, like how much just looking at that shot there. It's like one of my favorite shots of the film is like it gives it so much depth. Like just those two lamps there, and then you've got the one in the corner there, and then these on the wall.
And what I really like about lighting this way is like you put something in the space that is just gives you a baseline, and then I only have to put up a light for the person in the foreground for the talent.
So
it
what
saves
is
me-
your lighting setup for this then?
I
Like,
think
what did you do?
is for the because they were at that table for so much of the film. I think it was like a soft top light and then just something just outside the camera. Because if you I was pointing with my mouse, but that obviously doesn't work.
Point me.
Well, if you go to his cheekbones,
Mhm.
so normally if you just have the top light on, his eyes would be completely in shadow because his chin is down. So the light would only be hitting him here and then falling off. So you need something just outside the camera on the left-hand side that sort of brings that round into his face. And that's where you also have like the little light in his because also the practical that would never give enough output to actually light his face.
Okay, got you.
So
And then
you
you've
need
got
a
something
light.
on his hair there as well. Then you've got
Well,
in
that's the
there.
top light, yeah.
That's just the top
So
light.
that's sort
Yeah,
of the
okay.
baseline. So you just whack a top light over the top of it, see what that gives you, and then bringing something to bring that round, which is like really soft but like directional.
Yeah.
And that's
And
sort of how I lit the whole thing, mainly.
yeah, I suppose that's the center point, isn't it? For if I go through like this, that everything happens basically around this. around
Yeah,
frame.
and for these frontal, for shots where you're more in the eye line, you like the heavy lifting comes more from the light that's like on the floor, and when you're more profile, the heavy lifting comes from the top. But the funny thing is like I with these things where you have to be quick, but also it has to look, contrasty and that sort of stuff. I tend to just put all my lighting on the far end of the line, and then just have the camera on the other side. And wherever you point the camera on that one axis, it will sort of look usable. And you only need like very little adaptation.
Changes, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I suppose because on this, I was going to go into it later, but I think that's quite a good segue into it. Is like I say, the references are from pretty high budget things, and it's a big ask on the budget. Like
also
very well.
5mm film.
I will. Yeah, they are. Yeah, aren't they? And you shot on the Venice for this, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah. Again, slow, just bringing less light.
Yeah. And because we had, okay, so like practically, okay, so you've got all of that stuff. We've gone through all the look and then how you lit this. But in practical terms, I remember we had to, just because of the deal I did with the cafe owner, we were in the cafe at 3 p.m., but then we had to build the set basically into how we wanted it. And you had to light it, obviously. And then we had to be out as a hard out every night. So we had to be out at midnight every night.
Yeah.
And so, with turning the camera around and like all of these, moves with the dolly and things like that, like in practical terms, and you knew this before we were going in, like it's insanely tight timing wise. It's kind of mental how we made this film. Like, how are you approaching that? Like, how, with your team and stuff like that? How do you get the best out of your, essentially 5 hours of shooting a night, wasn't it?
Well, no, it was a little
Maybe
more than that.
Maybe 6.
I think there's like, I think we worked out the logistics mainly that I could store the kit inside or near.
It was a back room, wasn't there?
There's a back room or something where I could store the kit overnight so that we don't have to like unload every day. And also I did the loading in the day before.
Yeah.
So that if we got in on the shoot days, we would hit the ground running. And then it's a small space. So you don't actually need that much equipment to like, it all will like, the stage is set by like, okay, what's the space, what's the time and the budget, and and then you come to a plan that is as close as possible to the look you envision, but also is a plan that like doesn't, like, in the end of the day, you want to end up with most possible time filming actors doing acting.
Yeah, sure.
That's what your film is about. You need
yeah.
great characters, great actors. You want to give them the time and the space to do their best possible work. Because if it looks great, but the acting is shit, you have a shit film. So to me, that's always the most important thing of like, okay, how can I give them within the realm of workability? Like, how can I give them the most amount of space and the most amount of time to do their best possible work? And that whittles down to like a plan. Luckily, the look you were after was very high contrast and dark. That helps because then you just need, making stuff darker is in a space like that is easier than, like going for a really high key night for day look or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That would have been impossible. But
interestingly, the look helped you then in that way.
Well, yeah, it's a look. It's a look. It's for a cinematographer. It's great. It's like if a director tells you, "I want the shit to be contrasting dark," and you go like. I mean, to me, like my sensibility is
that
I love heavy, interesting contrast. So, I think,
and then just to stay on that for just a second is like how, because obviously, so working with all of those practicals, the neon signs, the lamps, and all that kind of stuff, like how you worked with Kooky, who's the production designer. Like, how did that? How that help? How did it, what was that kind of relationship like on this where because essentially without her as well, it needs to, that cafe did not look like that in the day.
No, I think Kooky came up with a really clever plan where she had like everything framed and like everything that she needed to hang there. She would hang it on existing places or blue tack it, which are all like quite quick and easy ways of doing things, but also like making sure that you add enough things to the set, but not too many, like you want to add the right things. And I think that conversation was the most important conversation we had, was to make the decision to just see one side of the place, so that I have another, like everything that's behind the camera I'm never gonna see.
It's all camera stuff basically and monitor and
it's like, because the thing is, like, a space like that is filled with tables when it's an operating cafe, but you actually only need half of the tables there.
Sure.
So it's getting rid of that stuff, creating some space, then putting space between all the tables that actually do exist.
I want to go just like almost to the last bit of the film, really. Well, it is the last bit of the film, because we changed the look a bit at the end.
Yeah.
The idea in the story. The idea in the story is that he changes the space. Rory's character changes the space. If we just watch it quickly, and then go through like how we did that in real terms, and how we made that happen. A lot of sharing screen in this episode. Let's go.
Sue's been in the bathroom trying to escape. She tried to escape. He admits defeat, right? That's sort of the thing. That's the
he admits defeat that he's going to be going.
So,
but then essentially changes the cafe to make it more romantic for their last dance.
Under 10 minutes, that film. Well done.
Yeah, man.
I always love this shot. Proper handheld, dark. His performance is great there.
Yeah.
May 18th.
Hers as well.
Yeah, they both are.
They both were really good.
Dance.
Mm.
I kind of flailed my arms around. I couldn't bear to hear it earlier. I love you. And we can't run. Open the door! But I think
Neil.
we have a couple of minutes.
Yeah, good old Neil.
Yeah, good old Neil. Love Neil.
He's great as well. But obviously, so everything has changed a bit, hasn't it? There, like.
If life's a dice, then we could roll double this time. If I
You got the blue lights coming in.
in a dream with you, lifelessly still until it came true. We've broken and healed our hearts into one. Take me away.
Bing.
Bing.
Yeah, so I suppose practically, like, yeah, so we wanted the space to change, and it's like, how are we doing next? This is obviously the last section that we did because we knew we wanted to like.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, about obviously practically, you need a police car there to do police stuff and to have like the tension there is that the police is coming and that they look themselves in to have this beautiful one last little moment. But practically, there's no way we were gonna ever find a police car
Mm-hmm.
to do that, right? Like, so what is the next best thing that you can stay inside the space and make it a choice? You know, that it's like we're staying inside the space, we're not going outside, everything plays inside.
Sure.
I mean, there were some other scenes early on in an earlier version of your script as well, where we started outside with them. And then we opted to go to put everything inside. The camera never leaves the interior because that then the fact that you never go outside for the police arrival makes that feel like a choice as well. That was sort of the idea behind that. And
This as well, the world building, because we didn't have the money to world build. You can do it
Yeah.
sound design, you know, and so
Yeah.
you don't know because you can't see, you know, you can.
yeah, and you don't want it to feel as if you just didn't have the budget. I mean, I don't know if we
Mhm.
succeeded in that in the end. I hope we did, but that's up to the viewer, I guess. But
Mm.
I think the police light itself, the whole thing with that scene was, I think I just wanted to also I think I pitched to you an idea to just sort of experiment with how real we are in the emotional reality of Rory and Chelsea, and not necessarily what are their characters' names?
Lena and Harry.
Lena and Harry. We are in the emotional reality of them, right? And it's all so therefore you can allow yourself a little bit more freedom in how you light and portray that scene and make it a bit more dreamy, I guess, so that you sort of play with the suspension of disbelief of how real something like that is, and coming from that as a concept, I think I then opted for also just putting a big ass spotlight. We actually had like a big theater spotlight in there because it's like he's setting the stage, he's making this romantic dance thing, and I think my thinking behind that was sort of to be like leaning into the setup.
It's like a dreamy setup, isn't
It's
it?
a dreamy setup, and
Mm.
in the end it actually looks way more. I thought it was going to look like a proper spotlight, but because the spotlight that we had wasn't too big or whatever, I don't know, it actually looks relatively naturalistic.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look that.
If you really looked at it, you'd be like, "Where's that coming from?" But
yeah. But the funny thing is, you don't actually notice it as. I think with hindsight, with the power of hindsight, I would have gone maybe harder on the spotlight. You can really feel it, or that it turns on in the shot or whatever, right?
sure.
But like it works how it is now. But I think the funny thing is, if you bring in the spotlight, then the whole made upness or whatever of that moment, if you then add those police lights to it, that sort of, it all sort of starts to come into the same realm, right? And I think the just practically how you do that is we had what I used in the Netherlands was called a Koen cone, and it's literally this square box that has like mirrors on all the sides, and you just shine a really bright spotty light into it, and then if you spin the mirror cone, it like goes through space. And
you have two of those? Was it one of those?
I had two of those, yeah. But the rental house that was sponsoring us, Green Kit, they didn't have them, so I had to build them myself in the end.
Ah, yes.
Which is
I have
funny to
some
me.
BTS of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gave them, I gifted it to them in the end. Never.
I really-
I wonder. Yeah. I wonder if they
And
abused.
because there was a big, it's quite a funny moment of, which I'll always remember, is because you told the producer Lisa how you were going to do it, and because we were outside, and we were by a big road as well. She's like, as long as the blue light doesn't go onto the road because that's illegal, then that's fine. So, and you were like, yeah, okay, we'll put some flags up, we'll stop it going onto the road and stuff. And then because we were so tight on time, I remember going outside after the first take, being like, dude, this looks amazing. And I walked out and I saw how it was going. I looked at the road and I looked at it going. I was like, isn't the light going onto the road? And you just said to me, "Is like, no, it's not." I was like, no, it's definitely going to the road. And you said, do you want the shot? And I was like, yeah, I want the shot. He's like, yeah, well, it's not going through. I was like, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going onto the road. Go back in, and I think Lisa found out later and was really annoyed. But hey, it worked. It worked. We only did it a couple of times because of time anyway. So
Yeah,
ask for forgiveness, not permission.
yeah. I think it was all so tight, and like I needed like the haze in the shot as well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't see the blue light flooding the space, and it was all, it was very crunched for time. But I think, and also like the space I had on the sidewalk, because we weren't allowed to go beyond where the terrace with the cafe was that the cones were literally at the window. So I had like so little space. So putting a flag up would just been in shot. So you would have seen the flag in shot. So I think at that stage you sometimes just like make the call to be like, let's just try one, see how bad it goes. If trouble arises, we'll deal with it then.
We just take it down, innit?
No.
And then you've got what?
Please don't do this though. This is bad advice. Not telling anyone to do it that way.
I suppose
Only do it on self-funded short films.
Self-funded short films, baby.
Yeah, don't break the law, kids. Don't break the law.
Yeah, man. I think we finish up there. I think it's such. I think you did such a good job. Like, everyone on that team did such a good job. I didn't actually know how we did. I rewatched it just in preparation for this and another call I did, and I was like, oh yeah, man. I think we pulled this off, because it takes a while, I think, for me to like something I've made. It really does. I hate something for ages, and then like 3 years or whatever, and you're like, oh, hey, that was actually pretty good.
No, I really like it too. Like, I think it was also the first time that I was trying out the Venice as well, as like seeing what that does, and I really like how it came out. And it doesn't look like it was made, for quite a low budget. I think the money went to the right places, so to say. And obviously with a lot of help from like rental houses and loads of loads of people who help, like Sparks and Jacob, who gets it for like a really low, like who offered their time, and like Sparks and camera systems, and like it's definitely a team effort, and like as long as you have something that you believe in, then you can excite other people to help you out on it. Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it for me, I guess. And like I think you involved me in the writing process quite early on, which I really like, because like then you can go through the like work towards the shooting draft that not only is manageable on a practical base, but also makes sense for me as a viewer.
Yeah.
I'm as a cinematographer, you are the first person watching the film.
You're invested as well, I suppose, if you've been at it from an early stage.
Well, yeah, and I like the earlier you involve someone, the more invested they are. Therefore, the harder they'll run to make your thing be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's it. It's again that trust thing, isn't it? Of like, the fact that I think I felt trusted to experiment, to do whatever I wanted to do with it, and hopefully it ended up in a result that you're happy with.